Many kitchens have an area where small miscellaneous stuff tends to collect. In our kitchen, that's the top of the refrigerator. In this video, I'll show you how to build a nice little storage unit to store all that stuff in an organized manner. Here's an overview of the video. You'll need both woodworking and metalworking skills. Out of a piece of plywood, use your skill saw to cut a whole bunch of rectangles. That's a pretty easy job. They're all straight, easy cuts. We're going to make a basic box. We'll need two sides, a top, middle, and bottom, and a back. Next, you want a sheet of steel that doesn't bend very easily. I selected 16 gauge. If you have the right equipment, this part is easy. If you don't, it's not easy. That equipment that you should be using is called a plasma cutter. It uses nothing but compressed air and electricity to melt steel into small pieces. Cut yourself out 4 simple rectangles. The size of all the stuff that you're cutting out will depend on how big you want to make your storage unit. The metal shelves, however, will be slightly bigger than the inside of your box. You'll see why we have to do this later as the video progresses. The box will be assembled using butt joints and screws. We're going to be drilling a whole bunch of holes and some slots onto the sides of the box. Oh yeah, we'll also need to cut some dowels and wood strips. Pre-drill all your holes, especially along the edges, then countersink them. Since the back of the box is so thin, I just use panhead screws. Now that you have a nice box, you're going to have to tear it apart. Mark every piece so you know where it goes. I use a combination of lines on both sides of each piece and numbers. Lay the 2 side pieces down. You want the back edge of the box to be touching in the middle. So when we're done doing all our work on this, we just rotate the outsides of the boards up and it's in the perfect position to reassemble. The largest item I'm storing is Ziploc bags. So I'm making it big enough that we can store 6 different shelves worth of Ziploc bags if we have to. Mark where you're going to cut your grooves on the sideboards. Normally we cut grooves with a router, but I don't have a router bit this small, so I'm going to use my skill saw, or a little handheld one. I know some people call them circular saws. Set up the saw so it will just barely nick into the wood. You want to make a groove about 1/4 of the thickness of the wood. This is why your metal plates had to be cut bigger than the inside of your box. They're going to rest inside of this groove. I'll show you how to cut these grooves later. Remember, this is the overview. When you're all done, this is what your grooves will look like on your wood. Temporarily clamp the box back together and make sure your metal plates will fit easily. Here's a quick view of what your box looks like with the grooves. Alright, let's start taking a look at a little more detail. Building the box was just basic woodworking skills, so I won't cover that. Let's cover the more complicated stuff, like cutting metal. I have found when you're using a plasma cutter to cut sheets of steel, you need to have a straight edge. Don't freehand it. The plasma coming out of this machine is hotter than the sun, and at 90 psi it just blows all that liquid metal right out. The simplest straight edge you can use is just a straight piece of metal with neodymium magnets mounted on the back of it. The magnets stick to your workpiece, and it's easy to remove. Oh, and I found for clamping your workpiece down, just use iron weights. Gravity is your friend. Again, we're going to cut out 4 identical pieces of steel. Unfortunately, clamping down wood straight edges is not quite so easy. Having a specialty straight edge clamp wide enough to do an entire sheet of plywood really comes in handy when you're building projects. I'm cutting the grooves that the steel will slide into. First we make 1 pass right down both sideboards. The reason we're doing them at the same time is we want them to be exactly the same level when you reassemble this box, so your steel slides in smoothly. I then slide the clamp down 1 blade's width and cut another groove. That way I have a groove that's twice the width of the blade that I'm using. When you're finished cutting the grooves out, you'll have 2 above the center shelf and 2 below the center shelf, which is made out of plywood. I did the center shelf out of plywood to give the box stability. After cutting the grooves, you'll want to do a fit check. Any problems with your wood box, like the upper right hand corner of this thing, can be repaired with wood fill. This used to be an old animal shipping crate. I just salvaged the plywood. Now, I want to drill a lot of holes into the sides of this box. Why, you ask? Since I'm storing lots of different types of stuff in here, some will be shorter or longer than the others. I don't want the shorter stuff to be pushed all the way to the back of the box where I can't reach it. So I can make adjustable shelf stops to prevent this from happening. For me, drilling a hole every 2 inches kind of worked out pretty nicely. The holes will be drilled directly above each shelf, in a position so that the wood strip you put in there as the stop will hit the dowel exactly in the middle of the wood strip. Use an orbital sander to clean up all the rough edges that your cut and drilling have done. Oh yeah, when you're doing this, don't erase those marks that you put on there so you know the orientation of these boards when they go back together. If you accidentally do that, it's going to take a lot of trial and error to figure out the correct orientation, but let's not talk about how I know that. I use high pressure air to get all the sawdust off the project, especially out of the holes. Then I cover everything in a coat of primer. After the primer's dry, go back and re-drill your holes to clean all the paint out of them. And if you have too much paint in your slot and the metal won't go in, just use a chisel to scrape it out. The bandsaw is the perfect tool for cleanly cutting small wood dowels. Since you won't see them, I didn't bother painting the wood dowels or the wood strips. Plus the dowels can't be painted because they make them too big to go in the hole. You're almost done. All you have to do is install the back onto the box. Now that the thing's primered, you can change it to any color you want just by using spray paint. And right now we're looking at the back of the storage unit so that you can see how those stops worked. They worked pretty good. And that's it. You now have an organized refrigerator. Thanks for watching.